that we cannot eat bread unless the white people then put up the money. And this business of reparations is another way of digging some money out of the white people.
Self-confidence comes from having one's mind, one's hope for success being founded in something
on one's own efforts.
Pardon?
Upon one's own efforts. And upon the confidence that you can do it.
Yeah, but to have that confidence, you must be sure that you have a means that is able to deliver the goods.
Yes.
Now, when you rely only on yourself, you are limited to your own strength. If you can find a means that is stronger than oneself,
no, hold on. But
then you have a better chance.
What I have said and what I understood her to be saying does not rule out cooperation with others, right? But it's the sense that we have, that so many of us in this country have, and maybe it's one of our characteristics of the people, that we are always looking for help outside. Right? We are always looking to the Americans or the British or somebody to give us some money, to make a grant, to buy our sugar at 10 times the price that they can get it for elsewhere. Right?
No, it depends. There again, we're always looking to them for help, but we're not. The question is, what kind of help? Is it merely childishly wanting a handout, or is it wanting to have acquaintance with their technology so that we can now produce for ourselves?
Yes, but that is there. That is available.
But
right?
That doesn't seem to be the main help that we're looking for.
No, what we're looking for is some money that we can buy. What we're looking for is a nanny, right? The same way we're looking to our politicians for a nanny. We are hoping that the British and the Americans and some others like that will make us some grants. And
that shows another side of the problem, which is where we believe in what one would call the money god.
Yes.
That things come from, rely on money rather than to rely on knowledge, for instance.
Absolutely. Knowledge and the ability to put that knowledge to work. Right?
So this is simply another aspect of the same problem.
Yes.
Whether it is that we have correctly identified those things on which we are going to rely on for our prosperity and safety.
Yes.
So it is as much to rely on mere money rather than the ability, the knowledge to produce, as to rely on the simple self rather than, even let us say the principle of truth, wisdom, etc. It becomes a bit complicated, and in fact, I myself gained a somewhat greater appreciation of this by reading a certain little book that I came across called My God is Truth Plus.
My God is what?
Truth Plus, which is an expression that this author coined for the Logos that is referred to in the Gospel of John. He writes there's truth plus, which is truth plus wisdom plus love plus mercy plus justice, etc. All these things that we normally talk about, the attributes of Yahweh, the Creator, or whatever. This author argues that these are not attributes but elements. He argues that there's not some glorified spirit sitting somewhere up in the clouds having these as attributes, but as the Apostle John argued, the Creator is the collective of these elements themselves. these elements themselves constitute the creator.
I see.
And not some other being having these elements as attributes or qualities thereof.
Yeah, I see. All right, sir. Thank you very much. Interesting. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good morning.
Your call got cut off. The other call got cut off. How are you? Morning?
Yes, morning.
I spoke to you yesterday.
Yes, but would you speak directly into the phone and raise your voice a bit for me?
I am talking as loudly as I can. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I'm hearing you now.
Okay, you sound very low.
Eh?
You sound very low.
I sound very low?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, systemic problem maybe.
I spoke to you yesterday, and there was a point I wanted to make, and I'd forgotten what it is, and I remembered it's about Traffic Guru. I don't know.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
Guru. Anyway.
Huh?
Anyway, Traffic Guru.
Who?
I said Traffic Guru. I'm going to talk about Traffic Guru.
Yes.
Mr. Pickersgill, a month ago, I heard a news clip on one radio station. Somebody asked Mr. Pickersgill if the money had been sent back. I think it was late November. And he said no. And he said, when it is sent back, I will let the country know.
Yes.
And this reminds me of somebody saying, don't call me, I'll call you. So, don't hold your breath, because that money, I don't think that money is going back. I don't think it's going back. They don't have it to send it back. Election coming up, there is no way that money is going back. So we are not going to hear anything from the PNP. So don't hold your breath, Mr. Perkins.
Well, I don't know. I mean, they have the NIS and they have the Petrocaribe money and so on.
So you think
they can run with that. They don't need I don't know. I suppose they don't need it. But then I suppose the more money you have is the more you want.
Yes.
Well, Mr. Pickersgill said that.
Yes, I heard him on I don't remember what radio station it was, but he said
But was that after Sister P had given instructions that it be sent back?
Yes, and after she said ask the PNP.
Oh, it was after she said ask the PNP.
Ask the PNP.
Oh, I see.
Several weeks after. This was just a few weeks ago. It's about a month ago that he was asked if it had been sent back.
Yes.
But
so he was in no hurry to carry out the instructions of the Prime Minister.
No. And he said, when it is sent back, I will let the country know.
Yes.
And I'm saying to you that we are not going to know, so nobody should hold their breath, right? They have no intention of sending back that money. Send it back to who? To whom are they going to send it?
Well, I don't know.
And what I think you need to do, you need to find out from Mr. Golding if he has had any more correspondence with the people in the what's the name of the country?
You mean the Dutch?
The Dutch people.
Government.
Yeah, we need to know how that is going, because I think they were going to launch an investigation. We need to have an idea whether or not he has had correspondence from them.
Well, I gather the investigation is going on. So,
going on.
You know.
So what about Sister P's investigation? The one that she said, this one that she says that they were going to be doing.
Oh, she was going to
Yes, wasn't she supposed to be finding out what to get a copy of a contract?
Well, I don't know. I suppose at some point she might make another reference to it.
I heard somebody talking to you a little earlier about the same Traffic Guru, and you were talking about
what?
Same Traffic Guru Mataman. And you were wondering, you said that the money was transferred from the CCOC account to some SW something or other. So I'm telling you, it was SW Services is the name of the account that
SW Services.
Right.
Yes.
That's what
were there two such accounts?
Yes, and there's another one. I'd written them down, but I don't remember what the other one is. But SW Services is one of them. Right?
Yes. And SW Services,
I think that has
the initials S and W represent Southwest, as I understand it.
Right. Sister P's constituency. It has something to do with her constituency.
Sister P's constituency. Then how? Well, I mean, if the funds are in those accounts, she should know.
Look here, she She is pretending that she doesn't know anything.
She's pretending that she doesn't know anything?
Right, she
Why
knows.
do you think she's pretending?
Well, people ask her, they ask the PNP, but
Does she know anything?
The PNP? She knows what is going on. She's giving the impression that she doesn't know.
Oh, she knows what is going on?
She knows.
I see.
She knows, but she's giving the impression that she doesn't know, and that is giving a bad impression to everybody because she ought to know.
Yes, I should think so.
Right, she ought to know.
Prime Minister and party president must know.
As the email yesterday said, first among equals, and yet she's the last to know anything. That's very funny.
Oh, yes, sir.
All right. Anyway, nice talking to you.
Lovely talking to you again. All the best to you. Okay, hello?
Yes, Mr. Perkins.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
How are you?
There are some of us. There are some of us.
Yes.
Who, for one reason or another, would like to dismiss the enslavement of black people as an unfortunate tragedy of history, which is behind us and which is best left alone. Take, for instance...
You don't think it's behind us? You think it's ahead of us?
It is with us.
Eh?
You know, we can't separate ourselves from history, you know, Mr. That's where the confusion begins, you know. When a people think they can just, look back into history and see nothing but unpleasantness, see nothing but hardship and suffering, and then come to some conclusion, you know, that we need to just leave that behind us, you know, because it is not making us feel nice.
But you know, sir, you also need to see that there are opportunities for you to lift yourself out of that predicament.
True. And you know something? I think the white people, the Jamaican white people are hypocrites, you know.
Are they really?
Yes. I tell you
why.
Black people are not demanding anything from them, you know.
Oh, yes?
But they are in a position, they are the ones who have for a very long time have made special effort. Effort.
Oh.
To deny
effort.
The mass of Jamaica, which are black people.
Hold on hold on a bit for me.
Come see us at ESAM Gift Center for over 200 brands of designer perfumes, colognes, and gift sets. Choose from 20 brands of executive shirts, ties, and belts. ESAM Gift Center, Suite 12, Courtly Auditorium. At ESAM Gift Center, quality is everything. The time by ESAM is
11:45.
Today's weather brief is brought to you by Mott's, hand-picked goodness, distributed by T. Geddes Grant. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Drink Mott's apple juice, packed with essential vitamins and minerals, distributed by T. Geddes Grant. Now for today's weather brief. There's a cold front across the island. This morning and afternoon, expect mainly cloudy conditions. In our 3-day outlook, Friday will be partly cloudy and windy. On Saturday and Sunday, look for mainly sunny and windy conditions. The information for today's weather brief was supplied by the Meteorological Service of Jamaica. Today's weather brief was brought to you by Mott's, hand-picked goodness, distributed by T. Geddes Grant. You're listening to Perkins Online, the Thinking Person's Talk Show. Our phone numbers are 968-4901, 968-4902, 968-4903. Our local toll-free line is 1-888-991-4072. Or you may call our international toll-free line, courtesy of the People's Telecom of Jamaica Limited, winners of the prestigious Jamaica Milestone Award on 1-866-LINK-106. That's 1-866-5465-106. You can also log on and listen to Perkins Online live on the World Wide Web free at www.go-jamaica.com. Now back to Perkins Online on Power 106 FM.
Okay, thank you very much. We're back online. Hello?
I'll ask you to forgive my mispronunciation of E-F-F-O-R-T, effort. Now, after slavery, the only people that were compensated in regard to this whole establishment of slavery were the white people of Jamaica. They were the ones who were given cash by Her Majesty the Queen.
Well, they were compensated for the
and the slaves
loss
were
of what had
now,
been
what I'm saying
property.
now, let's forget about that. Let's come to the present. The same white people are in authority.
The same white people?
Are in economic...
Boy, them live long?
Well, you know what I mean. Their sons and daughters that live after them. Not the same in bodily form, but in genetics. Now, they have the power.
Well, tell me something.
Yes.
Let me ask you something. You're concentrating on white people. What about the people who first enslaved us?
Yes.
Who captured us? Well, when I say us, our ancestors.
Yes.
Who captured them, held them in pens.
Yes.
And sold them to the traders.
Don't forget those people were also subject to a harsh and brutal colonial period.
Don't talk rubbish.
No?
What are you talking about?
The Africans, the only country in Africa which was not fully
But
colonized.
at the time that they were doing this, they had not been colonized.
You mean?
And when they started selling their fellow Africans.
As the relationship developed between...
Hold on.
Yes.
When they started selling their fellow black people, as you would call it, to the white people.
Yes.
Right? They were not colonized. They were doing this in order to...
They were in the making of
procure for themselves.
All the seeds of
Lancaster
colonialism,
cotton cloth and Sheffield
steel.
steel.
Colonialism were sown.
Right? No. They enslaved us. Right? They enslaved our ancestors. So if reparations, and they sold our ancestors to the slave traders, who then brought them to the Caribbean and sold them to planters here.
Okay. I understand that much.
Okay.
And
so
maybe afterwards,
who is to pay? Who are the first people that have an obligation to pay reparations?
You know, Mr. Perkins, if I sell you a dog, and if you want to take that dog home and treat it nice and kindly, and if you want to completely abuse it, kick it around and half-starve it.
Hold on. So what are you saying?
That the seller have some
What are you saying? That the Africans who sold our ancestors into slavery, they didn't know what they were doing?
Mr. Perkins, you have to understand the whole African tradition, you know.
Why people?
You see, the problem with you, you're so oriented.
Let me ask you something. Why can't you liberate yourself from mental slavery? Why can't you start thinking?
Mr. Perkins,
and going where the facts take you.
This whole mental enslavement of black people did not began with us as black people, you know. The mental enslavement began very much on the plantation, because you don't teach the slaves to read and write. You don't do that.
Hold on a little bit.
Yeah.
The slavery began on the plantations.
It began there, you know.
Is that so?
Our version of slavery.
Then when we were sold, by our African friends, when our ancestors were sold, what they were selling us as?
Prisoners of war.
Prisoners of war.
Yes.
They were selling prisoners of war.
Yes.
For what reason?
For guns. Or whiskey. Or for...
But
I don't think they really...
but I heard the man saying that if we hadn't sold you, we would have killed you.
True.
Right?
Mr. Perkins, you forgot, you know.
Maybe if there was an opportunity to sell the people who are being killed in Dahomey and in Dapur.
Mr. Perkins.
What would you think of that?
Even so.
You think they should?
Even so. You know, let's not dismiss this whole thing of reparation as nonsense, you know. Take for instance...
Let us what?
Take for instance that...
Hold on, what did you say?
Let's not dismiss this whole business of reparation as nonsense or idiotic. Take for instance that self-proclaimed Rastafarian woman who believes that slavery is best left alone and that the thing to do is to forgive our past slave masters and their descendants and desist from demanding reparation.
What she's saying, sir,
yes,
is that the thing to do is to get on with our lives.
She said,
stop focusing our attention on the past and focus it on the present and the future.
She said she used to be a strong advocate for reparation, you know.
Yes.
But after seeing the angry response of one of her white friends in regard to an article she has written on the matter of reparation, she decided to rethink the matter of which she came to the decision that asking for reparation is a greater evil than hundreds of years of slavery.
What is wrong with rethinking? Rethinking a position.
It is evidently clear that this Rasta lady do not want to lose her white boyfriend or lover.
Well, I don't know that she didn't say that was what it was.
But is that a good enough reason to say that the demand for reparation by this generation of black people who up to this very day are still burdened with the dreadful legacy of slavery?
I think it was she who correctly said that we have gotten more reparations than we have asked for, right? They have given us all kinds of concessions. You remember the sugar industry, where the British were buying sugar from us at, what was it, something like 3 times the price that they could get it for elsewhere.
You know, if you provide people with loan and grants...
Hold on, it is still happening. Right?
If you provide people with loan and grants,
loan and grants is not loan and
again, you know?
No. They've been buying sugar from us above the world price of sugar, well above it. Right?
Mr. Perkins, I just want to reassure.
And this has been going on for quite some time.
I just want to reassure you, see?
Right? And hold on. Yes. And it hasn't really done us a lot of good, you know.
Definitely not.
Because it has encouraged us.
That is the whole scheme of things.
It has encouraged us
totally dependent.
It has encouraged us into the path of inefficient production.
And dependency.
Yeah?
And dependency.
And dependency. Yes.
But I just want to reassure. I know you don't have much time. I just want to reassure the white people of Jamaica that I don't think anybody will ever call upon them to make any kind of reparation, because they themselves, many white people came here against their own will, and they themselves were victims of the whole idea of slavery, of the whole institution of slavery.
Yes.
But
so
what I'm saying,
maybe they ought to seek reparations too.
If reparation is paid, by the people, or the institutions, or even Her Majesty the Queen, they themselves stand to benefit, you know.
Look here, sir. I tell you what you do. Get up off your chair.
Yes. And ignore history.
And do something.
And ignore history.
Do something to help yourself.
And ignore the injustice of history.
There is nothing that we are going to be able to do about the past injustices of history, sir. They are there. They're part of what brought us to where we are now. Right? In some ways, we are disadvantaged. In other ways, we are advantaged.
Well, Mr. Perkins, I don't care how many slaves your great-great-grandfather had on his plantation. Nobody's going to ever call up any to pay anything. Because we consider you as one of us.
What are you coming with now?
I know you're afraid that if reparation has to be paid...
How many slaves my great-grandfather had on his plantation?
I know that deep down you're afraid that if reparation it has to be paid to the majority of us. I'm not saying in monetary kind. You're afraid that you might be called upon to make some kind of payment.
No, sir, I'm on the receiving end. I would be on the receiving end.
But you have enough. And that is why you're so against...
I would be as much entitled to it as you.
Right, because what it is going to benefit is the nation. This nation
it's
has
not
been
going
at
to benefit
disadvantage.
Jamaicans.
This nation has been at disadvantage from the very moment we were birthed.
It isn't going to benefit Jamaicans.
From the very moment we were birthed from the planet.
It isn't going to be paid, sir.
Let Her Majesty the Queen acknowledge her injustice and make a redress.
Goodbye. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online and we go straight to our telephones. Hello? Hello? No? What's happened? Let's try somebody else. Hello?
Okay.
Yes, good afternoon to you.
Afternoon.
Look, I'm not hearing you very well. You're going to have to speak up a bit there. Hello? No, he's gone. What? Hello?
Mr. Perkins?
Hi, how are you?
Not too bad, thank you. Thank you for enlightening. Thank you for enlightening the Jamaican people.
I don't know if the Jamaican people think that is what I'm doing.
Especially those who are seeking reparation. To explain about the slave trade to them. It was the Africans who started it.
That is quite true.
The Portuguese went to the west coast of Africa with their brightly colored fabrics and sought to trade with them. And they said they had no money and all they could do, if they wished, was to exchange their prisoners of war for the goods. And the Portuguese said yes. And after that, they got on with a rollicking trade. And who you think carried the prisoners, their prisoners on board the ship? The Africans. Tied them up, put them over the shoulder and took them on board the ship. And the British now, when they heard about it, the British traders, they got into the act. So we should really ask the Africans for reparation. And they didn't even get cash for their prisoners of war. It's goods that they got, you know. And let me tell you something, Mr. Perkins. If you live on a foreign campus with the Africans, they don't like Jamaicans, especially the Nigerians.
Yes, I know. I have encountered that.
When they come across the Jamaicans, you know what they call them?
What?
Cane-piece slaves.
Yes.
And they laugh. Because, you know, through oral history, it's been handed down from generation to generation. They told what happened. They probably didn't write about it, but they told how they sold the people into slavery. They were the ones who started it with the Portuguese. Thank you, Mr. Perkins.
Okay, Mom. Thank you very much. Okay, hello?
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
How are you, Mr. Perkins?
Not too bad.
No, the issue of reparations or repatriation, It's a hot topic.
So it seems, I wonder why.
Hot topic. But what we can move forward from here, I'm sure, the amicable ground. And something has to be worked out somewhere along the line because it is a burning issue. A lot of people are very serious about it. Would you agree?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how many are, but I don't know that that much is going to come of it.
Well, time will tell.
We're only sitting down wasting time when we might be thinking of how to move forward.
No, that is a great idea how to move forward, you know. Because we're going into a new year now.
We're what?
We're going into a new year now.
Yes, indeed.
And we really want to look on the whole situation and plot a course that is best suited. Now, do you think that we can use Farco and Machete and Two Square Land to get us out of this economic
No.
Don't you think we'd have to use our art, science, and technology?
Yes.
To excel?
Yes.
And use what is our own authentic indigenous belief and culture would be the best route forward? Something that we own?
Well, I think we own all the there's a sense in which we are heirs of all the achievements of mankind.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Now we want to, Jamaica as a nation.
Yes.
We're in our best interest to seek out our niche markets.
Yes.
And if we own something exclusively and have the intellectual property rights to it, being now the 21st century where that is the cook of the matter in the marketplace internationally.
Yes.
That's where you can use your, art, science, and technology and not have to be sweating hard, but your intellectual property rights now representing you and being the vanguard of your forefront to market yourself to the world in a way that is unquestionable.
All right.
And now we have the richest culture, if not one of the richest cultures in the world here in Jamaica.
Is that so?
Yes.
Oh.
And from its inception till now, it has earned hundreds of billions of dollars within intellectual property rights that have been substantiated, which are uncollected.
I see.
Would you know which culture this is, Mr. Perkins?
Huh?
Do you know which culture this is?
Which is it?
The only authentic indigenous benevolent culture that we have, Mr. Perkins, the culture of Rastafari.
Oh, is that so?
Would you know of any other authentic indigenous benevolent culture here in Jamaica?
No, sir, not really.
Well, that is the only one I know. Someone knows of another one. I would love to inform you of it.
I see. Yes, well, you think that the Rastafarians should lead us into the new millennium, new whatever. Hello? Oh, he's gone. Sorry about that. His technology failed him. Hello? What the devil is going on? We are losing a lot of callers. We have not. I don't know what is going on. Maybe they waited and their cards ran out. And what about the toll-free line? Isn't it on? Oh, yes. Okay. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Yes.
Yeah.
Hello? What is happening, sir? Are you listening to the radio or something?
Yes, Mr. Perkins.
Yes, well, if you're on, why don't you talk?
Good day, sir.
Good day to you.
Yeah, we want to call you for a long time because I listen to your show quite regularly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, me and my wife listen to you a lot every day.
I beg your pardon?
Me and my wife. I said we listen to you.
You and your wife?
Yeah, we listen to you a lot every day.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yeah, and so far, I've been very impressed, except for what you have been saying lately. You hear me?
I'm hearing you.
Yeah.
What have I been saying lately?
To kind of sum it up, I'll give you a little illustration. Let us say, hypothetically, let us say I'm a criminal, alright? I committed a crime. I committed some homicide at the age of 20. I did probably some robbery or something. And I eluded the arm of the law. And say you were a judge, okay? And over a number of years, I got away from the law. Say about 50 years pass. And I'm still free. However, after 50 years, I was caught and brought before you, the judge. You know what I think you would do? Or
what?
Say?
What?
I think you would say, you know what? Since this crime happened so long ago, I'm just going to let you go free. And, just go and integrate yourself into society. And, just live on.
Hold on just a moment for me. Okay, thank you very much. We're back with you, sir. Hello?
Yes, Mr. Perkins.
Let me put something to you. Suppose you're great-great-great-grandfather.
Yeah.
Well, suppose a man was murdered in his time, and it came to be, it was suddenly discovered that it was he who had done it.
Yeah.
That is to say, not your grandfather, your grandfather's grandfather, your grandfather's 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 grandfather. Right?
Yeah.
Suppose it was discovered that he had committed that crime. Would you think it would be right for you to be arrested and charged and brought before a court on the ground that you were his descendant, and you should take responsibility for what he did?
No.
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 All right. Well, proceed then. Go ahead.
No, we don't have a case like that here, you know.
You don't have a case like that?
Because here we have a set of nations or a group of people living completely off all the resources and the hard labor that had come out of we and elevated them as nations. And here we are, you want to put it, we are beneath
hold
them
on, sir.
as a result of that. And
your understanding... Hold on, sir.
You refuse to acknowledge that.
Hold on.
It is as a result of this. Why Jamaican people, how are they out today?
No. No, that's not true. Hello?
Yeah.
Your understanding of history is most inadequate.
No, Mr. Perkins.
It is inadequate.
So
right?
hold on. Are you to say that what they did was justified?
No, I'm not saying it was justified.
So what are you saying then?
I'm saying it's something that happened at a time in history, right? And that is behind us, that is long past, although it has helped to shape our present. And that what we must do, what is really important, is not trying to get some money out of the British. I mean, we have got a fair amount out of them, right? It wasn't designed to address the issue of reparations formally. But when they were buying, well, they're still buying our sugar at prices above the world market price, right? They're subsidizing our highly inefficient sugar industry. You're gone? Okay, sorry about that. Well, I mean, what right have we to be demanding? Well, to begin with, his assumption that it was West Indian slavery that created industrial prosperity in countries like Britain is nonsense. That's not true. Okay, we have some email for you. You ready to read them?
Mr. Perkins, I'm sorry for you. I do not know which one.
What? Go ahead. Just read one.
Yes, they're turned over. Man, you're a sick man. To equate act of slavery to Jamaica's employment problem. How can any country compete with slavery or free labor? America has full employment during slavery. Do we have full employment now in the U.S.? How could you have become so twisted? By virtue of your complexion, you have enjoyed such a great life in Jamaica. And for you to equate slavery to underemployment is wrong. And you should apologize to everyone, every black person in the world.
Hold on. When did I...
Are you saying the Jews benefited...
Am I going to ask?
I didn't finish the email.
When did I equate slavery to underemployment? I didn't do any such thing.
Are you saying the Jews benefited from the Holocaust? because they left Germany and moved to places like America and Israel and built a better life for themselves? Man, you're mad.
That's nonsense. I never said that the Jews benefited from the Holocaust because they left Germany and went to America.
Listen, boy. Slavery was what gave the West its competitive advantage. Are you seriously listening to yourself? Boy, can you imagine if someone in Jamaica speak of the Holocaust the way you are speaking of slavery and for a so-called black man? But you don't even consider yourself a black man. Egypt was more civilized than Europe. Learn that, you old ignorant fool. Your ASS, what word is that? It's full. So you can go home and enjoy what slavery has brought you. Get off the radio.
I think I have an idea where all of this is coming from. But, you know, it betrays a colossal ignorance. We are so ignorant in this country that is why we're in the mess that we are. What we want to do is to start thinking of how we might move forward. Right? Stop worrying about what happened 500 years ago. Start thinking about what must happen now if we are to find ourselves living decent lives. We have to be organized. We have to be productive. We have to employ our minds to the fullest. Right? And we have to work. The British have put quite a lot of subsidy into this country. I don't think they're going to take on the responsibility for paying reparations for slavery. And in any event, as I have said over and over, we have ourselves benefited from the fact that our ancestors came here as slaves. We now own this country, right? And we have a lot of assets that have come down to us, some of which we have destroyed, like the Jamaica Government Railway, like the system of English law. We are working at that, and English justice. We're working at that, and we're trying to destroy that one too, just like the railway. Right? Anyway, go ahead.
Mr. P., you spoke of the Jews this AM and suggested that reparation was demanded and given them in the same generation, which did them terrible wrongs, and the Holocaust. That was just part of the picture. Please do not forget that the Jews were the richest ethnic group in Europe.
That's quite true.
They financed kings. It is said that Columbus' second voyage was financed by Jews. They lent money to build various canals, like the Panama Canals. So in a sense, reparation was a way of giving them something, something back of what was stolen for them. But did you see what the Jews have done with themselves since 1945? They have got themselves a country. They have acquired the technology. They were always an educated and cultural people. But they have so arranged their nation and the world that never again, and he has underlined it, never again will there be another Holocaust with the Jews. Mr. Perkins, I would like you to ask the black people listening to this program, what have we done as black people to ensure that enslavement, physical or mental, never occurs again?
Well, it's on right now. I mean, I think there is considerable evidence that we have yet to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery. I think that is one of the things that is being demonstrated right now.
This came yesterday afternoon. There you go again. When will you be humble enough to admit that you're wrong? You're human, Mutty. Examine yourself. My impression of you is that your logic is very flawed when it comes to certain things. You can't face up to the fact that we are owed for this great wrong that was done to us. And we should be paid.
Up, you mighty race, you can accomplish what you will. But first, you must emancipate yourself from mental slavery.
Sorry. Fellow Jamaicans, let us call upon all blacks in the diaspora to lay claim on their little bit of Mother Africa. Come in your millions and let us go home. Leave this wicked West with their motor cars and television and cell phones and electric light. All these toys were wickedly designed to further enslave us mentally. Let us go home to our brothers and sisters who are waiting to welcome us with open arms. Let us leave this rock and reclaim our continent.
Let us see whether, it would be very interesting if you could really organize something like that. Get a whole lot of people going off to West Africa and see how much they would welcome you with open arms.
I believe some black Americans had a sort of rude awakening.
Yes.
Maybe 20, 30 years ago.
Oh, is that so?
I remember rightly. Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Dear Mr. P, over Christmas I took my grandfather to Milk River Bath, and Mr. P, it was a total mess.
I am sure you didn't know what Milk River Bath looked like when you were doing that.
Oh, God, Mr. P, we went to Little Ochi, and my grandfather remembered the place where he said he used to go as a boy. And he had such a bad pain in his knee. And I took him there. Mr. Perkins, not even a dog would like to go into that bath.
Yes.
Who can I approach in government to repair this world-famous place? It is a shame. It is such an asset.
But here are we worrying about reparations for slavery, when we have something like Milk River. And not just Milk River, there's Bath, and there are other such fountains. There's the one right out here that they went and built a cement factory next door to. Right? Which might have been an attraction for people coming from all over the world. And we have assets like these that we are neglecting and some of them destroying. And people are sitting down talking about reparations for slavery. We take a break, we come back shortly. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here. On with the email.
Yes. Mr. Perkins, a question for you. If you're being held up at your gate at gunpoint, what would you expect your neighbor next door, who might see what is happening, to do?
Well,
Good luck, Mr. Perkins. 119 rings without anyone answering. We have given up, Mr. Perkins, and we're leaving.
Oh, Lord. Well, probably what we need is some reparations to fund 119.
Mm-hmm.
You've given up on Jamaica, and you're going. Oh, very sad. What?
Sir P, that interview with the attorney yesterday was completely blocked out. As he came to talk to you, whoops, the power gone. Is there anything we can hear, even snippets of it later? Appreciate it. And there are about 10 emails like that.
Oh, is that so?
Coming from all over. They say that it never came back on. Power never came back on until about 3 o'clock.
This was on the
internet. The internet feed. They just got a few minutes of your opening, but the moment the lawyer came on, I have another email that says that evidently somebody didn't want to hear the lawyer, because the moment he began to speak, it went, and it never came back on. So all this thing with DCP, ACP, Green, nothing at all went out. Dear Mr. Perkins, I hope you and your family had a Merry Christmas, a Happy Kwanzaa, or a Blessed Hanukkah, or whatever you celebrate. I'm unable to hear you this morning because of the usual technical difficulties that seem to only assail, in other words, tech set on target your program. We need a new explanation from Cable and Wireless now. Something more in line with the 21st century, for the current excuse is passé. The Jamaica Constabulary Force corruption expose has bred all sorts of rumors, some of them so frightening it is difficult and dangerous to even whisper them. All the best for the new year.
Thank you very much, and the very same to you.
But I don't know if they can hear you. Have you said anything controversial since morning?
I don't know. Why?
Well, if so, you won't be. Dear Mutty, I listened with disgust to your discussion on Friday, December 14th, 2006, re the benefits of slavery to black people, particularly black people on the island called Jamaica. As far as I could bear to listen, you stated that if it weren't for slavery, we wouldn't have Jamaica. And if it wasn't for slavery, then we wouldn't have the benefit of experiencing this wonderful combination of different races. Although I'm well aware that this is your standard position, I feel it no less my duty to comment on your dishonesty and irresponsibility. Actually, Mutty, you complain about the situation in this country every day, but you yourself can't exercise any responsibility in making our country better. Those comments that you have made are totally irresponsible, wicked, and uninformed. If you want black people to believe that the suffering our ancestors faced in being kidnapped and transferred here is worth this piece of rock called Jamaica, and that we should celebrate this great diversity which perhaps only you see in the context of mental slavery and oppression, then you are definitely not going to be a part of the change that this country needs. Jamaica has suffered until today from the terrible effects of slavery and colonialism, and still suffer today. If you wonder why we have a lack of leadership in this country, poor governance, racism, classism, uptown and downtown, poverty, thank slavery. You should be held accountable for daring to disrespect the black people in this country with your classist comments.
You know, I don't understand the processes by which some people's mind work. You are demanding of me that I exercise responsibility. But then you turn around and say that all the wrongs of this country are attributable to slavery. It isn't the people of this country. It isn't the leaders of this country that have failed the country. It isn't the people who have failed themselves. It is slavery that is responsible. So we can't get anywhere. We can't do anything. We can't achieve anything, because slavery is holding us back from achievement. What absolute arrant nonsense. Oh, up you mighty race, you can accomplish what you will. But first, you must emancipate yourself from mental slavery. It was I who said that. It was Marcus Garvey. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Am I on here?
Yes, you are.
Okay, not listening to you on Friday, I would not have an idea what...
I'm not hearing you very well. You have to
having listened to you on Friday, I would not have known what was discussed about slavery, okay? It's hard for me to comment on that. Anyway, I have a few things here.
You have a what?
Just 3 questions. I don't know. It's a bit personal. I don't know if it could answer them. First one. This is just an assumption. I would classify you as a black Jamaican. Am I right?
Well, I have no objection to being classified as a black Jamaican.
Could you be a little bit more specific?
I say I have no objection whatever to being classified as a black Jamaican.
Okay, because what I would say, although you have that complexion, they would say that it's just a mulatto color, you know?
I wouldn't even say that.
So that's my interjection there.
Yes, all right. There's a lot
we can't be too
a lot of blackness in me.
We can't be too personal on that subject, you know, because I personally think of you as a black Jamaican.
Well, fine.
As English and the American would, you know?
Yes, of course. I have no problem with that.
You wouldn't be speaking from a scenario where you're speaking on behalf of the white people, you know?
From a what?
You were speaking on behalf of the whites.
I'm speaking on behalf of the whites?
I say you wouldn't be speaking on behalf of the whites, though. You're speaking as if you're a black Jamaican about slavery.
I'm speaking as if I'm a black Jamaican.
I'm asking a question. I just needed to confirm.
That what?
That you're speaking as if you're a black Jamaican.
Well, aren't I?
I'm just wondering. I just need to hear from you. Is that affirmative?
Yes, I'm a black Jamaican, and I'm speaking of I have ancestors who were slaves.
Okay, I would tend to believe it and would accept that, okay?
Oh, yes.
As of my personality, I'm a black Jamaican, you know? And I would think that reparation can be qualified, you know?
Qualified?
Yes, we can have it, you know?
How you mean?
Just because of the wrongness that was done 500 years ago?
Yes.
Just about that time, you know?
What about other wrongnesses that were done 1,000 years ago and whatever? You think Africans are the only peoples in the world who served as slaves?
Well, I'm going to say something a bit controversial here, you know. What I would say to you, if it wasn't for adultery, we wouldn't have anything named Christianity, you know. So sometimes we tend to look and think, they say the blaspheme. So sometimes I don't even need to go in it too deep, you know, but it's very difficult for me to get my point across because you wouldn't allow me half an hour, you know. So I would just say, just look at it from that standpoint. Many people are suffer. And it's not Jamaican alone is asking for that, you know, because remember that Irish Steel from Haiti there.
That's what?
You remember Irish Steel from Haiti?
From Haiti.
You remember what happened to him the first time he asked the French for it? When he come out publicly and happiness, him losing presidency and thing after run away to South Africa.
And you think it is because he asked the French for reparations?
Then there's no doubt about it, man. We tend to speculate a bit because we don't have the full evidence, but just looking at it, most of the things you and me would know, you know, just hearing and listening and coming into our own conclusion, you know. I think that was a direct result, you know. And Mr. P, we shouldn't be confusing this reparation with present day politics in Jamaica, you know. Because just look at it as a real white thing for the blacks, you know, not necessarily Jamaicans, you know.
Yes.
And if I have the time, I could go, but they wouldn't allow me. So I just go for it as positive, you know. And when you speak as a black Jamaican. I don't think you speak as a white man, you know. So we don't have to get the personality in it and attacking you of this and that, you know. So that's my piece for today, you know.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. All the best to you. Okay, hello? 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 Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
Afternoon, Mr. Perkins.
Good afternoon.
Yes, man. I'm calling via email I heard just a while ago.
Yes. Would you keep your voice up?
Sorry about that. In respect to 119.
Yes.
Some time ago, I was literally a witness to a murder that was committed some time ago. At that point in time, myself and my colleagues were trying to get the 119 police and so happened that phone ring continuously without an answer. It so happened that we were driving past a police station, so we said, all right, let us go over there and make a report. We went over there, we spoke to the sergeant in charge. He was also unable to get in touch with any persons who were the local police.
Did he have a working telephone?
No. Oh, that was another part of it. No, he actually uses his cell phone.
His cell phone?
Yes, to call the 119 or some control
Yes, because
center.
the station phone wasn't working.
They weren't working.
Maybe they hadn't paid the money. Paid the bills.
Well, possibilities may lie there, but you know the point that I'm driving at. Whenever you're trying to get through to these policemen, you're not getting through.
Yes.
And I think most of the crimes that are not being solved because these 109 call centers are not being answered.
Well, that could be part of the problem.
Well, I don't know if you can shed some light where this is concerned, because this is a very serious issue. And also my friend had another complaint some time ago where she was trying to get through to 119 and there's no response where that is concerned. So I don't know what you can do from your end.
Well, maybe what we ought to do is press the case for reparations so that we could use some of that money to pay the telephone bills and get 119 reconnected if that is the problem.
But look at even the station.
You don't think that might work?
Well, it may work. it may work, but you know, this phone line will be this phone bills will be keep on going up.
Well, yes, indeed.
All right. I don't know if a system could set up where you have internal extensions from one station to another.
Well, suppose hold on just a moment. Okay, thank you very much. Back with you. He's lost. We've lost him. Shall we go somewhere else? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Perkins. Mr. Perkins, I want to know something. Where does this about reparation come from?
Well, sir, the first time I came across it, I remember it in association with the intellectual ghetto.
So it's a ply?
In fact, it must have been going on before then. I mean, but the first time it came fully to my attention was coming out of the intellectual ghetto. And one evening, I went up there to participate in a forum that they were having on the subject. And I made the same sort of arguments that I'm making here. And one very distinguished gentleman holds a very high position in the country. He got up and walked out.
But Mr. Perkins,
he now holds,
from the first, we call it August, when them say Emancipation Day. Yeah, and now we about 4 months after you come with repatriation business. I look at the issue we have. I like how this one,
I may have misinformed you there. This argument about reparations have been going on for quite a long time.
Yeah, but this is not the time for that now.
Not really. It seems to me.
Yeah, because me and Mr. Ralston Lohman this morning I talk about how economy can grow.
He said the economy is growing.
Yes, I hear him this morning.
We're on the threshold of a new beginning.
Exactly.
Michael Manley used to tell us that every New Year.
When he Lambert Brown.
Yes.
He used to be a trade unionist, don't he? They still is.
Used to be where?
A trade unionist.
Yes. Well, used to be.
Yes.
He's not still a trade unionist.
Supposed to. But he's got a new office. He's up on a board now.
Oh, yes. What is it?
Yeah. Well, so that is what Mr. Lohman is working for now. Because I feel there's an opening in the finance office there. So him a bowl theme ball now inside there.
No, man.
Yes, man. You know, Mr. Perkins, man. So when Wilson got about, he comes up and take up business. None of that not true. But everyone will know that.
Well, I don't know. You know, there are a lot of people who believe that they're profoundly learned in economics and so on, you know. And when you hear them talk, you know, so you wonder whether they have any idea what economics is about.
But Mr. Perkins, I don't want them getting at this, what them call it? This African business that try to get past, you know, because somebody has tried to start with that from morning. You notice from morning I be an email about the reparation business that try to start from the real issue.
Yes.
Because reparation pick up on backbench. What that have used us now?
Yes.
That can't help you now.
I don't think so, sir.
Yeah, we talk about the issue and the problem with trouble we now are going at the 2007.
Yes, and what we need. How are we going to fix our problems?
Exactly.
Right?
But somebody tries to start intellectual.
I don't think that we can depend on other people to rushing here to come and solve them for us.
I don't know what those people up there thinking, you know. But everybody have. Because if you notice now, you know, the spin bowler them come off and the fast bowler them come now, you know. Inside the ball, when them are bowl now, the people can hardly see it, you know. So be a fast bowler right to that ball, you know. Because if them come with the economics, so the people don't understand. So a fast bowling, him a fast bowler now, you know.
You ever see a fast bowler get hit for 6?
Yes, but you have to be a very good batsman. And Jamaica people are good batsman.
They're not good batsman?
Good batsman, which part, Mr. Perkins. Now we in this turmoil from so long. 17 years ago, 18 years, we in this turmoil.
Yes.
Well, Mr. Perkins, let them take care of the real issue here, Mr. Perkins. Let them go with them repatriation business, yeah, man.
Yes.
Take care, Mr. Perkins.
All right, thank you very much. All the best to you. There is hope for Jamaica. Hello?
Hello, Mutty.
Yes.
Sorry to have to call you about the same time today. But
I'm not hearing you very well.
Sorry to call you back again today.
Yes, that's all right.
You know what happened, Mutty? The hypocrisy and the foolishness. All these so-called economists, Mutty, talking about growth and things. Do you know if it was reparations, we have revolution in this country, and not one of them talk about the remittances. The remittances that come from the poor Jamaica who can't make their life out here. Go America, go clean up people, mess and thing, and send back money. Mutty, over Christmas, if you go to Highgate and Port Maria and see the lines outside Western Union, and then I'm going to tell you about $43 billion in circulation. And that's where it come from, you know. Remittances. To all you, Mr. Hyman, and Mr. My name again, the other one from you there, that had this teaching the other day. Dr. King, Damian King.
Oh, yes.
I remember when Omar Davis started on his road to ruin, you know, of the Jamaican people and economy. All him used to say on the Breakfast Club, but what is Omar to do? What is the minister to do? What is the minister to do? And he had them come out and tell him, if them get a cold supper shop to run, them mash it up. Them mash up a cold supper. Look at them, Mutty. Have they ever successfully run a business?
Well,
all they do is stay up there and spout nonsense.
Well, I don't know.
Encourage, enabled Omar Davis.
I don't know that some of the world's leading economists ever successfully run a business.
That can be true. That is true too. But Mutty, they stay there and they enabled Mr. Omar Davis to run with it and mash up people, you know, mash up people's lives, you know.
Yes, well, the economic thinking coming out of the university and other such places is not very inspiring.
When will they tell the truth about how the Jamaican economy, how the financial sector was destroyed by the actions of one Omar Davis? When will they tell the truth of what happened to the precipitate actions that
it started before Omar Davis got hold of it.
Yes.
Mark, he was in the planning agency at one time.
Of course. But Mutty, is his precipitate action, and I believe that. I am no PhD or anything, but if he had taken a different track with the Central National Bank, and have helped them over the hump, and the Jamaican entrepreneurs, Jamaica would not have had that financial meltdown.
I'm prepared to believe that.
What, sir?
I'm prepared to believe that. It would have required more than dealing with Central National, because Central National wasn't the only problem.
No,
right?
no. I mean, you had Eagle and the others. But what happened to them,
and not only that, you had all this nonsense about mopping up liquidity.
Exactly, but...
Right? And I heard Deacon Thwaites talking this morning about something about somebody borrowing at 17% and finding himself paying 71%.
Yes.
Which I thought was a funny way of putting it.
Mutty, make I tell you something, I used to wonder, say, if it's fool, them fool, where they embarked on this thing. But Mutty, I am thinking, wasn't it a deliberate strategy to create them friends, make them the richest people in Jamaica at the expense of the Jamaica illiterate and poor people?
I don't know, sir. I don't know what explains it.
Look on these new bond trading firms, like security dealers, they call themselves. Look on how much money they made off these policies.
Yes.
And still making off these policies.
Absolutely.
Was it by accident or design?
Well, sir, maybe one of these days...
Ask yourself that question, Mutty. Well, ask yourself the question.
Well, I need to ask it of Dr. Davis.
Exactly. And the people there, Mutty, who foreign ministers, certainly PNP officers and others and genetically linked people, they must have invested in these government securities. Mutty?
Well...
And did it benefit Jamaica? Did it create one more job in Jamaica? Did it create production in Jamaica?
No.
What kind of nonsense they're talking about? Economy points for takeoff. They better go and
do you remember that Mr. Michael Manley used to tell us?
Oh yes, the light
every new year.
Yeah.
That
every new
first
year
of all,
message.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
That was one version of it. And the economy was poised
to take off
on the threshold of a new beginning.
Boy, I never see a country on so much thresholds from my God. But Mutty, I mean to say, we have a university and we would believe that they would really have a forensic audit in the policies of this government and what it costs the country.
Yes.
There's nobody seeking the truth, Mutty. Nobody. Look at all the banking system, right? The banks are making so much money now. They destroy the indigenous banks, and Mutty, all the money is making in Jamaica, whereas only LCB keep the profits here. But Trinidad is richer, Canada is richer, and Jamaica is poorer. Thank you, Mutty.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon.
Africa Love, Mr. Perkins.
How are you?
It has been a very long time.
Yes, indeed.
Indeed, Mr. Perkins. I'm not really here to tell you about black people and white people. If I have to mention people of darker skin, then I'll mention the Ethiopian and African people.
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Perkins,
yes.
I'm here.
Yes.
Yes. No, Mr. Perkins. Before I go any further, I'd love you personally to tell me, maybe I'm void of certain understanding. Could you describe a government for me and the process of a government? Who will speak about government?
Well,
could you describe a government for me, sir?
A government is an agent of the people, sir.
So do you describe the people of the government status?
I beg your pardon?
I'm wondering, you say the government is something to the people.
Yes, well, the government, it's not necessarily an agent. There are different forms of government.
Yeah, all right. Different forms. We're talking about the government in our little country, Jamaica.
Yes, well, in our little country, we are supposed to have a democratic government, a government chosen by the people, and there to protect and promote the interests of the people. Yes. Hold on just a moment. And hello?
Africa Love?
Hello, yes?
Yes, I'm here. Africa Love is here. Yes, my brother Perkins. Yes, Mr. Perkins.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we reach a point where we're trying to understand what is a government.
Yes, well, government
and the
is...
responsibility of a government.
To...
just a minute here, Mr. Perkins. Yes. We have been, from 1962, we have got our own independency. I hear mention the Constitution. I hear mention how illegal the Constitution is. I hear even mention how the Constitution is designed for those who are in power now, and who say they are leaders of this world, the church, the politician, the corrupt society. I personally hear you have mentioned these things over the years. How detrimental the Constitution is to the people of Jamaica, especially the massive, the hungry people. How it manipulate, how it rule, how it kill, how it murder, how it do everything, Mr. Perkins. I've heard you said those things.
Well, I don't know that the Constitution does that, sir. I don't know that the Constitution does that, but...
You don't know.
That the Constitution...
I know.
They may not prevent such things or make,
No, I will remind you. If you will just allow me to remind you. Yes. You have stated clearly that the Constitution of Jamaica is designed through Bustamante and Manley for them own interests, not within the interests of the people in Jamaica.
Yes.
So me call it a criminal offense. Me call it some people that drink the blood of the people. You understand me? So Perkins, don't bother go hide from Kremlin now. My name Ross Kremlin. Me live at Greendale, you know. Spanish town. Me no hide when me attack, you know. Because me no afraid of death. Now, Mr. Perkins. Let me talk about the highly politically motivated crime for discredit the security force of Jamaica. Undermine the government and the political minds. Let me talk about the people who are designed and organized. More people to live in Jamaica about them at this and them at that. As government. Now you can talk about that?
Go ahead, let me hear you.
No, me talk about it. Me say, what happened to the highly political, them not blame the deportee, you know. You talk about organized crime for power. Well, the two people and the old people, them are mandatory there. An organized thing to undermine the security force and discredit the government and the political mileage, you know.
Is that what is happening?
That is what is happening. All the school them are burned down, all the eco school them are killed off, they pick them. That is politics, you know. Party politics, you know. Hey, Perkins, don't go like me a fool, you know, Perkins. You know what is party politics, you know. You know the detriment tonight, you know. Tell the nation this, you know. I'm not call upon the university. I'm not call upon you. I'm not call upon the student. I'm not call upon literal. I'm not call upon you. I'm not call about all people who respect humanity. I'm coming to the people and
what evidence, when you say political, what do you mean? When you say that these things are political?
These things
you mean that one party is carrying this out and...
highly politically motivated crime.
And with that one party is carrying it out. Carrying out these crimes. With a view to...
crime.
What?
Party not talk about crime every day.
Yes, I'm asking you.
The party has to towards. The party was...
I'm asking you what are you saying?
About the crime. What am I doing about saying I could stop the crime?
Well, I don't think enough is being done. All the right things are being done.
I'm not talking about no black people thing and no white people thing, you know. Because when white people call black people black, when they come from Africa and call them black, it's supposed to uplify, you know. It's supposed to cause I feel a war with black and white, you know. I am African and Ethiopian people, you know. I am no black business and no black and no white, nothing, you know. I am no African and we talk about reparation. We are talking about reparation. That is black people, but as African.
I see.
That you are talking about, you know. Yeah, tell any Rasta man say, Rasta Clement say that. See, I'm going to call out some name with say, my liar, have dreadlock for them, and I go, I'm a Mickey Mouse, you know. Wham. Jamaica don't go law, we will seek justice. We go carry to the international affair. To show how. Never from 1962 a government run Jamaica, a two-party run it. No government never run Jamaica from the colonialist government of Jamaica. A two-party. One name JP, one name PNP. And then run Jamaica. No government.
But the
That's our next question. Any prime minister will bow to America in the Caribbean, an idiot. That's why we love our Fidel Castro. We don't bow to America. We don't bow to the only hell for earth. The only hell we may go inhabitants is America. We don't bow to that.
All right, sir.
So here, Mr. Perkins.
Thank you very much. All the best to you. Okay, hello? Hello?
Hello, Mr. Perkins.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Green man. Shower every time.
Hi, yes. How are you?
Yeah, man. What on?
Well, you tell me now.
Yeah, well, how you had Christmas and the holiday?
Well, it was very pleasant.
Eh?
Very pleasant.
Yeah, Green man from Easter.
Oh, hell. What is happening? We are losing a lot of calls. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Morning. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Perkins?
Yes, sir.
Sir, no. Yes, Mr. Perkins. I always listen to you many times, you see, and I don't have enough credit now, because I always put you a $500 credit to speak to you, but most of the times, I lose it. By other people speaking to you. You understand?
No. Sorry about that.
And I need to speak to you about the issue that you speak about with black people and slavery, sir. I know you said many things that is good in her, sir. I understand that you are saying a lot of things that is good and correct. But if you think very carefully, and when I have some credit, I'm going to call you when I put in $1,000 credit and speak to you about that black people. You must understand that black people have never sold black people, you know, sir.
Oh, yeah?
What happened, you know, they go around and steal our babies, mothers, wife and daughter and put us on a block where if we need to get back our daughters, if we don't do certain things, we are not going to get back our daughters. And when we do those things, we go and steal some things to give them or get what they want or take some other people can go give them and sell them. Them keep on holding our parents until them get amount of people from we. So they always do something to us for we to have to do what they tell us to do. And when you have if you have something farming in your yard, Mr. Perkins, and it's not for sale, but I get up with some money and go and do something, no matter what it is, to get your daughter or your son. Sell me your thing that you are farming in there. That is robbery and stealing and trickery. So those are the things that the white people keep up on black people, and today you are saying that we is the black people who sell our own. We did not sell our own on that way. There's a long more history way back, far back if you search it out. You find out that these people used to come down like a little spy, and when them see our little children in the rivers and these things, them snap them. And then them send back some messages and do some things that we have to apply to what they say we have to do. Otherwise, they're going to execute our children and wives.
Where you got that from, sir?
God search the issue, sir. It's not where I get it from. I'm not making it up.
I'm asking you then, where did you learn it?
Where do I learn it? It is in history all now, but some people is blind. Just like how some people cannot see that we are still in slavery. Because like you are saying that we are not in slavery and we benefit from slavery. We not benefit from slavery because if I hold your woman's ransom and lock you up into a house and put you in there and then you have pick the and the picnic come in slavery, still continue serving my generation. Your children is still in slavery, never get away. For you to get away, sir, I would have to release your house and your yard and give it to your children who would have the right of it if you wasn't in slavery. So you can't say that the white man hold on to the land
and don't release back the land to the next generation who just born. And then you're going to tell me that we are now free and we can go ahead and stop thinking about slavery, sir. That was wrong.
All right, sir.
I appreciate nothing that you say on the program, but you're saying some things I need to speak to you up front. So I need to put in $1,000 or $2,000 credit to speak to you one day, and when I do so, I'm going to give you a call here, sir.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. I look forward to that. Okay, hello? Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I got cut off earlier.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I was making my points when I said the burden issue of reparations, repatriation,
Uh-huh.
But anyway, I'm sure we're going to clear that up soon enough. But what I've seen that the Bill of Rights and the Alternative Union Policy.
The Bill of Rights
and the Alternative Union Policy that have been signed off by Her Majesty the Queen, the House of Representatives and the Senate, ensures us that we have the proper credentials to represent the culture of Rastafari, which is our own authentic indigenous benevolent culture.
But I thought we had finished that conversation.
No, we hadn't finished. I got cut off, Mr. Perkins.
Huh?
I got cut off.
Yes, but how much longer do you propose to go on?
I beg your pardon?
How much longer do you propose to go on?
Some facts.
Yes, all right.
I'm talking about the way forward for the nation and solutions where we can earn without blood, without our own machete, with our own authentic, benevolent culture.
Yes.
With our art, science, and technology within the 21st century, where we can substantiate and have, niche markets within our own culture, where we can compete on an international level economically.
Yes.
And they chart the best way forward for the people. Are you interested in that, Mr. Perkins, or are you just interested in, the problems and no solutions?
Yes.
And
no. But that's what I've been saying, that we need to
solutions here.
We need to think in terms of going forward on our own efforts.
And we have one of the richest cultures in the world, Rastafari.
Oh, is that so?
And it has earned billions of dollars all over the world, which you can substantiate.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. All the best to you. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon.
Good. Am I speaking on...
You're on the air, yes.
Okay. I'm just interested in what you're talking about. You're a very brave man for saying what you did.
Oh, is that so?
And I must take my hat off to you. I don't know. You must know what the controversy is stirring up by saying what you did. I didn't hear when you said it, but I can hear the response. On the matter of, slavery.
Yes.
It is a fact that slavery couldn't have happened if black people didn't sell black people to Europeans.
Well, it certainly happened that way.
Because it was black people that organized and caught the people, went into the hinterland, and got people from other villages and brought them to the coast and had them in almost a warehouse.
Yes.
And where I think it's called on the coast.
Hold on just a moment for me, please, sir. Hello?
Another thing, Mr. Perkins. The slavery was considered a business from the African point of view.
Yes.
And also, what a lot of people, I don't know if they've heard it, but before Mr. Blair apologized for slavery, one of the ministers in Nigeria apologized to black people for selling, for Nigeria's part in selling black people into slavery. Now, I don't know if this is sort of reach you, but that is fact. So, the government, at least I don't know if they collectively, the old Nigerian government, consider themselves partly responsible for it. But one of the Nigerian government ministers has apologized for slavery, and Nigeria's part in it. When at the height of the slave trade, they had there was a lady who was also part of the slave business, who went to America, and she was given free passage to see how the business of slavery was. She went as a sort of businesswoman to see how the business of slavery was happening, and then come back to Africa to see how she could increase her business. And she was given safe passage in America and returned in a ship back to Africa.
Oh.
And a lot of people, I don't think a lot of people in Jamaica know this. There was a lot of these people who had businesses in selling slaves, sent their sons and daughters, especially sons, to England to be educated in public schools, and on the ships. And I don't even know if a lot of Jamaicans know this. So it's not like, it would be impossible for slavery to have happened if it wasn't organized by the Africans themselves.
I don't know about impossible, but it certainly happened in the way where the Africans capturing people from other tribes and selling them to slave traders.
Yeah. And another thing is this, Mr. Perkins. Okay, nobody is saying that slavery was at any time not a disgraceful thing to happen. As I believe, the Africans and the Europeans were both responsible for it.
Yes.
Both of them had a share responsible for it. But what is even worse is the legacy of slavery.
Yes.
Because it's as if to say, if we don't get money back for the wrong, we can't move forward.
Yes.
It's as if we're tied down to this. It's as if the Europeans or Africans not only had slavery, but it's like another sort of slavery that people is putting on the mindset. Unless we get repatriation for money for the wrong that was done, we find it impossible to move forward in anything.
We must
sit down and wait for this to happen.
Yes.
This is never going to happen. So it doesn't mean that we're never ever going to move forward.
Yes. That is quite true. We have opportunities staring us in the face, and we're not making use of them because we are too smitten by a sense of our own inferiority. Right?
Yes, and also we have planes international travel now. I don't say everybody can, but there's some people who I'm sure they'll find quite possible to book flights and go to Africa if they so wanted to.
Yes.
It would be easier for them to do this than wait for somebody. If they're waiting for somebody to give them money to do this, they're going to die, and the grandchildren they're going to be waiting as well. So they got flights. They can go by different means and go to Africa if that is the place that they want to go to.
Absolutely.
They've got all the flights coming in, going all over the world.
And if the Africans will allow them to stay there,
go to Africa. Why? But I think instead of spending the money and go to America, go to Africa instead. Surely, and if you want to develop Africa, surely that makes more sense. So that's basically all I want to say, Mr. Perkins. It's not, you're a very brave man for saying, and you must have known what would
yes, I suspected it, yes.
But I can't hear you very well.
No, I'm saying that I expected it,
Yes. But that's why I say I must, to be on a talk show host, and you could easily have avoided saying this, because you must have known what would happen.
Well,
and especially, you know, all the cultists and all this sort of thing, would sort of come in and bring all sort of made up tales and all sort of thing on your head, and you're not black and all this sort of nonsense would come on you.
Yes, well.
But you know, all I can say is keep up good work. But I don't think this argument is going to get you very far. I don't think you're going to benefit from this argument, because I think the weight is probably against